to give you guys a summary of The Science of Getting Rich. It's a book by Wallace D. Wattles, game changing book. Highly recommend anyone read it, especially if you're serious about generating wealth for yourself and for your bloodline. Let's get right into the summary. Okay. So there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspace of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by expressing his thought through formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. Otherwise, he cannot be in harmony with the formless intelligence, which is always creative and never competitive in spirit. Man may come into full harmony with the formless substance by entertaining a lively and sincere gratitude for the blessings it bestows upon him. Gratitude unifies the mind of man with the intelligence of substance so that man's thoughts are received by the formless. Man can remain upon the creative plane only by uniting himself with the formless intelligence through a deep and continuous feeling of gratitude. Man must form a clear and definite mental image of the things he wishes to have, to do, or to become. And he must hold this mental image in his thoughts while being deeply grateful to the Supreme that all his desires are granted to him. The man who wishes to get rich must spend his leisure hours in contemplating his vision and in earnest thanksgiving that the reality is being given to him. Too much stress cannot be laid on the importance of frequent contemplation of the mental image, coupled with unwavering faith to devout gratitude. This is the process by which the impression is given to the formless and the creative forces set in motion. The creative energy works through the established channels of natural growth and of the industrial and social order. All that is included in his mental image will surely be brought to the man who follows the instructions given above and whose faith does not waver. What he wants will come to him through the ways of established trade and commerce. In order to receive his own when it shall come to him, man must be active, and this activity can only consist in more than filling his present place. He must keep in mind the purpose to get rich through the realization of his mental image. And he must do every day all that can be done that day, taking care to do each act in a successful manner. He must give to every man a use value in excess of the cash value he receives so that each transaction makes for more life. And he must hold the advancing thought that the impression of increase will be communicated to all with whom he comes in contact. The men and women who practice the foregoing instructions will certainly get rich, and the riches they receive will be in exact proportion to the definiteness of their vision and fixity of their purpose, the steadiness of their faith, and the depth of their gratitude. So, what's really being highlighted here, if we work in reverse, is it's very difficult, if not borderline impossible, for you to actually get rich if you don't have faith and gratitude. Okay. And I see this all the time. I've been in the coaching and teaching space for well over 8 years at this point, and it's crazy how self-sabotage is so real. How when people's faith get tested, that they quit too early. And I have had people even quit before they actually even started trying. Okay. When it comes to real estate investing, you got to remember this is a long-term game. So what's helped me is to forget about how to make this become fast, but how to make this guaranteed, right? How do we guarantee success in real estate? Well, you're going to want good deals. You want to surround yourself with good people with the right mindset and have capital and cash flow, right? If you can hit those three things, doesn't matter if it takes you 2 years, doesn't matter if it takes you 10 years or 30 years, you will get there. Assuming that you're actually taking action and you have the right mindset around this. And it's a paradox, right? Because for one, you got to have the faith and the gratitude to flow with your real estate investing, meaning you don't necessarily want to force it. That's one side, right? On the other side, you do want to act with a certain level of urgency, maybe not so much that you're in a rush to become rich, to get into real estate, to build a future for yourself. Because if you take a look at the world right now, you got to ask yourself, is what you're doing cutting it? Okay. Is you maybe going to school, you going to just a job, investing in maybe small stocks or doing small, crypto trades or whatever it is? Is that enough to actually get you to that next level and buy back your time and genuinely become wealthy? Okay. If your answer is I don't know or no, well, you got to change up the strategy. I see this so often when I'm doing free consultation calls, even coaching some students where before, I'll have students before they sign up, they don't have a clarity roadmap. They don't even know how many deals they got to take, how many deals got to get finished, how much capital is needed to do all those deals. Because it's very easy to spin all your wheels and then never move forward in actually building wealth. Now, if it was just about you, all good, right? You could work forever and then never actually build wealth. But if it's about your bloodline, if it's about something larger than yourself, it's about actually hitting your full potential and helping people out in your community, well, you're going to probably want to get rich. You're probably going to benefit from actually building wealth because for you to grow to your full potential, it means that you need to build wealth and get rich. Investing in your health costs money. Investing in your relationships costs money. I ran some numbers, and I think it's like for you to even have a girlfriend, let's say, it costs about, anywhere from 6 to 12 grand a year, right? If you don't have that, well, what's going on, right? Like, why spend time and focus on that when clearly the issue is building enough capital, building enough net worth so you can actually live the life that you want to live. Very difficult. And I've yet to meet someone that wants to live a life of abundance that doesn't understand that money is part of that equation. And this is why I love this book, The Science of Getting Rich, so much, is because it simplifies things a lot. Okay, I don't have to read 1,000 books on wealth, right? I don't need to read 500 books or watch 1,000 podcasts and learn all this stuff on the internet when I can just stick to this book and then apply this to actually taking action. Okay. And part of that is you're going to want to build what's called halo effect. And that's a training we're going to actually be doing tonight on how you can genuinely build halo effect without creating a front. Okay. Because the last thing you want to do is create a front and then build your brand, build your wealth, build your riches, build your empire on you not being yourself. And I want to highlight that because the goal here and what I want to inspire people is to become the best version of themselves. Okay. Without the proper mindset, without studying the right books, without taking the right actions, it's basically impossible to hit your full potential. Let's just, ignore money for a second. Okay. Let's look at health. We probably know the principles to getting in good shape. Have a solid diet, have a solid workout plan. Okay. Now, if you don't have clarity in that, how do you expect to hit those goals? Right? If you're not tracking certain metrics, how do you expect to hit those goals? Okay. It's the same thing with building wealth. If you don't know, let's say for real estate, how many rentals do you actually need? How many flips do you need to be able to live the life that you fully want to live? If you don't know that number, well, you're lacking the clarity to do that. Okay. If you don't know how much capital you actually need to get into real estate, okay, well, we got to make sure that you learn that process. Okay. I actually do free real estate strategy sessions where I'm able to sit down with you, make sure we find out, hey, what's the best plan of attack for you to hit your goals? What are your goals? Can we actually get clarity on that? Help you with that in a customized, personalized process where I'll actually sit down with you and build this out with you so that you have a clear roadmap on what kind of marketing strategies you need to put into place, how much capital you're actually going to need, how to find that capital, whether you're raising that or you're generating that income, whatever is going to fit best with your situation. Because there's going to be situations where, for Johnny there, hey, he probably needs to raise some capital. But let's say for Sally, who's making a high income, maybe has an awesome business that's crushing it. Maybe for Sally, she doesn't need to raise capital. She would actually benefit more from doubling down on her active income to generate the money to then put into real estate. Okay. You got to remember that when you're leveraging, you need a good market, you need the right amount of deals and the types of deals that are actually going to move you forward. These deals got a cash flow, right? The last thing you want to do is do real estate just to do real estate. You understand it's a vehicle to move you towards your goals. Okay. But if you don't know what those goals are, if you don't know how the vehicle of real estate actually works in building wealth, well, you're going to be stuck in this hamster wheel of never moving forward in your goals. Okay, so if you want clarity on that, if you actually want a free real estate strategy session, all you got to do is comment the word strategy down below in this video, and I'll send you a link. You can also take a look at the link if you're watching this as a replay. Okay, seriously, hit that link, come sit down, either myself or the team, and we'd love to build you a free real estate strategy session to help you get to that next level and unlock your real estate flow state so that you can actually build this real estate investing business around your life. Okay. I don't want your life to just be nothing but work. I don't want your life to be nothing but thinking about riches, thinking about wealth. I don't think that's a balanced or let's say an accomplished life. Like there's more to life than making money, but let's solve that problem. Let's get rid of the problem of capital, the problem of money, and then genuinely build you a real estate portfolio that's going to allow you to invest in your health. That's going to allow you to have the best relationships that you have. And that's going to allow you to have the freedom in time, in money, and even location. Because something that we also cover, if this is going to fit into your life, is hey, maybe you are actually looking to start, or maybe you already have a real estate adjacent business, right? This is a business. Maybe you're a realtor. Maybe you're a mortgage broker. Maybe you're doing social media management for people in real estate. Maybe you're a contractor. Well, all of this is you're already in the business of real estate. So why not take that skill and then use it to acquire more real estate investing? I never really understood people that were in real estate, but not having rentals. It's like they're choosing to just work forever, right? I see this with, I've coached a few realtors. Well, like, why not bet on yourself in the sense of own some real estate? That's going to help your track record because you're actually going to be an investor. It's going to help you attract more investor clients because as a real estate investor yourself, you're going to know what other investors are actually looking for. And now you can actually provide more value. Right? In this book, the science of getting rich, well, it talks about you want to give more to your client, give more to the other person than what you receive in cash value, right? That's going to be the key. Subsar, hope you're doing well, man. And that's not just for real estate. That's in any sort of business. You want to give more value than you're actually getting in return in cash. That way, you can at least set it up so that that's what's called an uneven transaction, where you're just giving so much, but yes, you're going to receive still. Yes, you want to get paid for your product or your service, but you're just giving a little bit more, if not a lot more, so you can continually build that momentum. Because time's not just money, time is money, focus, attention, and I'll even add assets. Okay. And that's what I want to highlight in encouraging you guys to read the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. It's a game changing book. Seriously, you got to check it out. Even if you just listen to it on audiobook, pretty sure it's free online. I listen to the version on YouTube, to be honest. I'll read it every now and then. But whenever I'm running, whenever I'm doing a workout, even if I'm in the car, I've actually cut out music quite a bit to instead listen to this audiobook because it is absolutely game changing and it will simplify how you look at making money. Okay. Because you do not want to wait for an opportunity. You want to be prepared for the opportunity. Okay. This is where people make the mistake. Once a good real estate deal comes into play, then they think about figuring out, then they think about how they can get into real estate. Where instead, you should be ready already so that when the opportunity comes, you can take action like this, that you're already building momentum towards that. And this is a huge mistake I made because I wasn't following the science of getting rich when I was, 17 to like 22. I thought that I just needed to continually learn instead of taking action in a certain way. Okay. I spent 5 years just trying to learn about real estate, learn about cash flow, learn about how to analyze deals, how to market, but I wasn't actually taking action. And that wasted so much time. That's not what I want for you guys. I want you guys to have the solid mindset of the science of getting rich, then have a step by step playbook that is personalized to you and your specific situation so that you can get more deals. You can actually attract deals so that your marketing is bringing you properties, rentals, flips, or wholesales that fit your goals. You can ignore everything else and then also make sure that you have the capital or at least access to the capital to get you these deals. Have a proven step by step system so you can close deals that make sense for you as long as you follow the system because the system works, especially if you work. But if you don't work, the system is not going to magically bring you deals. Okay. I get mindset is important, but you're not going to find deals just by sitting here and praying that the right deal will come into play. You need to have the confidence, you need to have the systems, and you need to have the right mindset to move forward and actually know when to attack on a deal. I've seen so many people waste time on learning about real estate, but they're not actually applying the lessons. Okay. I can teach you all about marketing for deals, but if you don't actually market, very difficult for that. Okay. I can teach you how to fill an offer to purchase, but if you don't actually sit down, write offers, submit offers, or link up with the realtor to make offers, well, come on, how are you going to close deals? Right? It actually doesn't make sense. You need both, right? You need the right capital, the right mindset, the right deal, and then the right action. Okay. What we're covering today is the right mindset with the science of getting rich. Okay. Now, what is halo effect? Okay. Halo effect, and I'm going to actually pull up the Google definition of this because I don't want to mess this up. So we're going to search up definition of halo effect. Okay. This is going to be key. Okay. This is what's going to unlock your full potential when it comes to real estate investing, but also when it comes to like even growing your online or offline business. Okay. So halo effect. It's a noun, the tendency for an impression created in one area to influence opinion in another area. Okay. Also, we have here The halo effect is a tendency for positive impressions of a person, company, country, brand, or product in one area to positively influence one's opinion or feelings. Halo effect is the name given to the phenomenon whereby evaluators tend to be influenced by their previous judgments of performance and personality. In other words, you want to highlight your track record and highlight what separates you from everyone else. What makes you a unique person? What brings out your personality? This is why in tonight's training, okay, the training that I'm inviting you guys to, and if you're watching the replay, stay tuned. It's going to be the next video that'll drop. But for that training, we're actually talking about how you can highlight parts of your communication and your personality, plus your track record, so that you create a positive influence on people around you and they actually want to work with you. Okay. We are not in the business of begging for money. We are not in the business of begging for capital partners, of begging for real estate investors. Instead, you want to attract these people with your halo effect. You want it so that people actually want to work with you and your company. Okay. If you don't have a track record, if you're terrible at communication, if when you talk to people, people have no clue what you're talking about, or you can't grab their attention, good luck getting into real estate investing. Seriously, maybe you can do one or two deals. Okay. Maybe you're going to use your own money. You're going to work hard at your job, and then you're going to put that into a rental property. Awesome. How many deals can you do like that in the span of 10 years? Maybe you could do 2 to 4, but are you going to be doing enough to genuinely buy back your freedom? Because that's the goal, right? The goal is not just to get into real estate, just to get real estate. The goal is not to become rich, just to become rich. Instead, you want to know why you're actually doing it and what that's going to allow you to do. Okay. For me, in the beginning, my why was my parents. I wanted to retire out my parents, and that's why I decided to get into the rental game. Once that was checked off, I had to change my why. Otherwise, I would be too comfortable. So, what I did instead was, okay, I wanted to get enough rentals to walk away from my teaching job. Okay. Not that I didn't like my teaching job, but I knew my end goal was to become a master teacher. And having a system, being part of the public school system and teaching, yeah, that was key. That taught me so much. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. But I was still under my 30s. It was actually less of a risk for me to step away from my job because I had the rentals, because I bought myself enough free time, enough money to invest in myself. So now I can build on my skill set as a teacher, as the principal of Alliance Real Estate. Here's the logo. I'm trying to point at it on my Zoom here. But as I became the principal of Alliance Real Estate, well, that taught me how to teach our other coaches how to teach. It taught me how to find different ways to teach. I studied a lot of Jungian philosophy, a lot of humanist type of teaching, and I was able to coach people and teach people, not just in an online setting, but an in-person setting, not just in a group classroom type of setting, but also one-on-one. And that taught me how to break down each of my students' needs, which honestly, I didn't have as much time when I was still teaching high school. No, I one of the practices I did and that I still use now in the Alliance coaching is to sit down with my students and break down their needs, both their needs personally and also professionally, because self-sabotage is real. And I believe that all of us have limiting beliefs. If you didn't have any limiting beliefs, you would like close your eyes, think about it of what you wanted, and it would just magically appear. That's not how it works as real people, right? Instead, we actually have to level up our beliefs because all our beliefs will be limiting. Okay. If you had an unlimited belief, you would think it, close your eyes, boom, it would happen, right? We're not God. That's not how it works. Instead, as we move towards our goals and we go past our comfort zone, let's say, hey, maybe you want to build halo effect. Maybe that's new for you. Maybe you don't know how to do that. Well, you're going to have to go past your previous paradigm and then adopt new limiting beliefs. Maybe you're shy to put yourself out there. Well, okay, good luck building halo effect if you're not communicating. Maybe you think your communication skills are great, but you're missing the blind spots, and then people actually aren't investing in you because they don't want to, because your communication sucks, or maybe they don't want to give you capital, or they don't want to bring you deals, or they don't even want to work with you because your communication sucks. Well, if you're unable to find out what are the blind spots in your communication, if you, and I see this all the time, especially with newer people in communicating, sometimes they're just not loud enough. I used to be like this. I used to have like a really low voice, right? Like you couldn't even hear me, right? Well, if I can't hear you, if people can't hear you, how are you supposed to influence them to actually want to do deals with you? How are you supposed to give that impression that you're confident, competent, and able to bring real life results if your voice doesn't reflect that? And then also, maybe you are really good at communicating in the volume and the tonality, but there's not enough actual content or basis in what you're talking about, right? Now that could be a way that you're losing people. So you want to really do an audit. Okay, I coach all my students to do this is do multiple life audits over the year. Okay, I'll do a life audit every 90 days, but at least every 6 months, where I'm looking and auditing not just my wealth, but I'm auditing, okay, how many deals did I actually do? How much opportunities came and onto the desk? And this could be in your active business or it could be in real estate, right? I take a different approach in helping my students in that I don't think everyone should quit their job, right? I left the job not because I didn't like it, but because I wanted to learn how to teach in a different way. I wanted to improve my skills and then go on a different path, right? Worst case scenario is I just go back, right? It's actually not that bad because I love teaching. That's why I'm giving this free content. You guys, why we drop hundreds, we've dropped like almost 600 videos on YouTube already. I would not be sharing this stuff if I didn't actually have a passion to teach these things. But you want to put emphasis on the process, not just the results, right? And that's how you're able to get to that next level. That's why I truly think not everyone should quit their job, right? Entrepreneurship is lonely. Entrepreneurship is difficult. Entrepreneurship doesn't pay you to show up, it pays you for results. So, how long can you handle going through the process, making sure that you're actually getting results, and how many rejections can you actually take before, hey, you might want to quit, right? Now, I'm not telling you to quit. I'm not telling you that you should stay at your job. You should have the self-awareness to really figure out where are you taking this. But in my opinion, I don't think everyone should quit their jobs, right? Your job is absolutely an asset, especially if it's allowing you to get financing, meaning you can actually do more deals. If it's putting money steadily into your bank account, right? Like if your job is just able to feed you and provide a savings, awesome. That's an asset that not everyone has, right? I know people that work jobs and they're literally just working for bills, right? Like that's not actually moving them forward. Maybe that's a job you want to quit, take the risk, and then go learn that elsewhere, right? Go learn a different skill. And also, your job can provide you a skill set, right? I loved my job teaching. I still love my job as a principal of Alliance Real Estate because it allows me to build up these skills, to test new things out, to take a risk because it's all about skin in the game. Whether you leave your job and start a business, go full in real estate, whether you stay at your job and then build a business on the side, build the real estate on the side, both can work. Okay. It's not either or, it's and. You can actually do both. Okay. That's what I wanted to show in my journey. That's where my journey has kind of taken me. Right. And that's why I want to show you guys that there's not just one way. Everyone will have their own custom roadmap when it comes to building wealth in real estate, when it comes to getting rich. I actually was sitting down with a good friend of mine. He makes a solid income, a couple tens of thousands a month. And for him, I was like, dude, why get a mortgage and leverage capital for real estate when you're making bank? Why not use that leverage to build up the active income and then park that money with other people? Because the return, the ROI for him was totally in his active business. And there's nothing wrong with growing that active business, putting that into real estate, and then building it out that way. It also creates halo effect because now instead of jumping into a different industry with real estate, he can just dial in on his brand. And for him, it's the medical space. He can dial in that brand and build halo effect there. It's something he's already doing, something he's already competent at, he's already skilled at, and he's already confident at. And then you could just partner up with people to get into real estate. The blueprints are out there. It's just that not everyone requires the same blueprint and roadmap. And that's seriously why we offer free real estate strategy sessions at Alliance Real Estate. You can go to alliancerealestate.com, pick a time, book a time with us. You can choose any of the coaches there. I'd love to help you out. But the key there is we want to sit down with you one on one. So personally, we can build you a customized real estate roadmap. That's going to help you get to that next level. It's going to provide you clarity. It's going to eliminate these doubts that seep into our minds that stop us from getting to that next level because there's so much information out there, right? Like everyone says, oh, yeah, you don't need help with real estate. You don't need help with entrepreneurship. Just go learn it online. Cool. How much time has that cost you, right? If I look at the time that I wasted, 5 years of my life just trying to learn on my own before getting that first deal, when instead I could have just plugged myself into a system, closed that first deal, and then boom, now we're fast tracking it. And that's why I'm super grateful for all my mentors. If you take a look at the science of getting rich, people who build wealth are doing things in a certain way. Okay. You don't need to recreate and reinvent the wheel. There are people that have already built multi-million dollar portfolios. There are people that already have killer sales skills that are closing deals left and right. There are already people that are able to not just have the financial freedom, but also have the time and location freedom to build out their ideal lives. Now, if you don't have a system that's moving you towards that, you got to ask yourself, why are you slowing yourself down? I actually dropped a video a couple of years ago on why you're learning too slow. And the conclusion I ran into is because people don't know what to learn, they don't know what to prioritize, and then a big one is they're actually not setting up time to actually learn. Okay. Like how much time are you carving out in your day to build your business? Okay. Maybe for some of you, you guys are full time, you're doing it full time. But what's the priority there? Are you actually focusing on tasks that are going to move you to become rich? Are you learning things that are actually relevant to what you're doing, right? The past 2 years, I have just literally spent almost every dollar that came into my account to find the best teachers around real estate, around business, around marketing, around sales, around communication, around building better relationships, around building my health, to invest in myself so I can get to the next level and then pour that back into you guys, right? Now, do you have to do that? Maybe, maybe not. That was my calling. I know for a fact that my calling is to teach. Okay. The real estate there, it's set up so that I can take care of my bloodline and then focus on becoming a master teacher. Now I can teach and love that process, become borderline obsessed with the best teaching practices, with the best ways of helping students get results. And that's why our results speak for themselves. I had a student this week, she closed her first deal. Took her a little bit longer, right? But we were cleaning some stuff up with her finances. She was working a job, but it took her about 5 months working with me to close that deal. Awesome. I've had a student close a deal as fast as 14 days, right? Because they just followed a step-by-step process. On average, our students will close deals in about 66 days of starting with us, especially if they're taking action. Okay. Now, I can't guarantee that you'll actually close a deal unless you're taking action, right? And taking action is not learning. Okay. You need to actually do the business. Okay. So I give my students homework. So I'm going to give you guys homework in tonight's session that's starting at 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay, that's going to be starting soon. So if you haven't checked that out, you got to go to the link in my bio. You got to take that link, click that link, get onto that Zoom call. That's going to be in about 15 minutes. We're going to be starting that. Super excited because we're going to be talking about halo effect and how that's going to be one of your X factors for closing more deals, right? Seriously, you got to get to that next level. You got to learn how to be rich and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is why I love this book, The Science of Getting Rich, so much because it just simplifies things and it all starts with the mind. I knew I was going to become a millionaire before I became a millionaire on paper. I knew I was going to become a multimillionaire before that happened. Okay. But if you don't actually believe, you don't have the faith, if you don't have the right systems, you don't have the right mindset, you don't have the right people on your team, you're going to make it so much harder. And I think we're going to see this in the next few years. This is just like a thesis. This is just a hypothesis, let's say, in that I think what's going to happen is the people that actually invest in themselves and understand that it's pay to play. Either you're paying with time, money, attention, focus, or momentum, or you're going to get left behind, right? And I'm seeing it, especially because we're here in Canada, where prices are getting higher. Prices are getting higher all around the world, but it's seeming like it's becoming harder and harder for people to actually get rich and actually build wealth. And I see people quit all the time where they actually opt out. And I don't want that for you. I want you to fully understand. That's why I make these videos that you can do it, that there is a process. There is a mental step by step and a physical step by step so that you can actually become financially free, become location free, and become time free. But if you don't think it's possible, if deep down in your mind you've already given up on yourself and you don't understand that it is a pay to play society now, good luck getting rich. So I hope you check out that book, The Science of Getting Rich. And I hope you hit the link in my bio because we're going to do a free training. That's at 7 p.m. CDT. You got to hit the link in my bio. It's on Zoom. It's going to be interactive. It's going to make sure that you actually build halo effect so you can get into real estate without necessarily having to use your own money or slash and I should say and actually build an income, whether that's online or in the physical, let's say, store, or actually provide a physical offer and a physical business so that you can use that to make more money so that you can plop that into real estate and then build that wealth over time. So 7 p.m., that's when we're starting. If you guys have questions right now, I'm going to take a few questions before we jump on to Zoom there. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. We got M. Inar. I like calling you M. Inar. I know that's not your actual name, but I love how that sounds. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. And if you guys are watching here on the replay, seriously, I appreciate you guys all. Drop that subscribe and follow button. And then make sure if you want to get that free real estate strategy session, so I can actually build you a custom roadmap so that you can hit your goals based on where you're at. Everyone has to start at their own point A. Everyone's point A is different. But I want to help you get to point B where you can close deals, get into real estate, start building that passive income, start adding assets. Because if you're not adding assets, you're not building wealth, right? You can use leverage to get assets, but I want to show you guys how to do that properly and if that even makes sense for your own situation. So if you want to do that, just DM me the word strategy, or if you're watching the replay, hit the link below, and then you'll be able to book that session. Okay, I want to help you out. Asks, if I don't have a car, can I still make it? I need internet in my new apartment. Michael, hey, that's a solid question, Michael. You can do a lot online, but you're probably going to need internet with that. You can get away with not having a car. That being said, it is an asset, right? A car is going to allow you to move faster and get around to places, check out properties. But for you to start, because I know you're investing in yourself, you've been in the financial abundance program, well, you can set yourself up and build that roadmap to eventually, get internet, that'd be the first thing I'd focus on. Then once you have internet, then make sure you can build towards getting that car. Because that car is an asset. It's going to allow you to work away from home, right? Unless you're having to bus, but that busing is pretty time costly, right? Like how long does it take to get to work if you're just busing? So I think a car is a huge asset, especially because it's going to allow you to do some marketing, go to properties to check out, go to a job faster, save time, and then it also gets you to build that financial foundation. Now, am I saying that you need a car to do this? Not necessarily. You can do a lot of marketing just on your own or on foot. You could like knock on doors and whatnot, but a car does help a lot. And an internet is that leverage, right? That's going to be key. I see that you have access to this, so you have some sort of internet there. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about how we can build you halo effect and how you can actually focus on that and build that so you can scale real estate without necessarily having to use your own money, but also how to start a business with that. But that's going to be at 7 p.m. So you got 10 minutes. And yeah, we'll be jumping on that shortly. I'm going to take a quick break. You guys have been awesome. Hope you guys got value out of this. But 7 p.m. CDT, check that out. If you're watching a replay, well, it's not going to be at 7 p.m. CDT. So watch out for the next video. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure that you're on my YouTube channel because the next video, we're going to be actually talking about halo effect. And this is that free trading I was talking about. Hopefully you can jump on. But if not, you're watching this, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. I love you. And we'll talk soon.